wanting us to maybe drill down on what you think are the most common lapses or perhaps mistakes of organizations in terms of their strategy to prevent ACH fraud schemes.
Well, yeah, and I think that goes back to kind of what I was saying earlier. You know, we change our security protocols around ACH enrollments. I hate to say the word constantly, but it's pretty regularly. It's more than annual, and part of that just comes through. You know, we've got dedicated security people that are constantly looking at the fraud attempts that we see every day, and then also they're reading a lot. They're understanding like I said, what's the latest malware, what's the latest phishing scheme that's out there. So what do we need to change internally? And I think that's where a lot of organizations don't have a good, I guess, security protocol process in place that they're constantly looking at this, particularly if they're storing ACH data. I think again, if you've outsourced this, these are the questions that you should be asking your outsourcer, right? Like I said earlier, you know, are you asking what, you know, have they changed their security protocols? How have they changed their security protocols? What are they seeing in the industry today? What kinds of fraud attempts are they actually seeing? And then, like I said, for us, we've got a 3 separate individual process we go through to actually verify and ensure that that the information that we're getting is not fraudulent, that the vendor is who they say they are, that the bank account is also validated in multiple ways to ensure that that bank account is real, that it belongs to that vendor, and that all of that's associated back to the customer that we're supporting. So there just seems to be, I think after a while, a lack of I guess what I would call, I don't know if it's diligence or what, but it's just they kind of they kind of get soft on it, right? In today's world, I don't think you can get soft on anything that's fraud related, particularly if you're storing and managing banking information. The security protocols that you have around how that data is stored, who has access to it, what are the multiple levels of security process in place in order for anybody in your company to get access to that data, and how do I generate a notch file through that process, and ensure that I have the right approval levels in there, that I ensure that I can't be using automated logins for that, right? I've got to go through the right process. And I think a lot of times that just tends to slip over time because they're like, well, we've not been hit. Well, that's when you're going to get hit, right? It's at those times you get hit.